Everybody ready? Okay. What does this mean to you that it's not just you, but it's with two other really fantastic former Husker baseball players?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a huge honor. For me, it's really special because Nebraska baseball has had a lot of great players over the year. I mean, we have a lot of big leaguers, and I mean, a lot of really good teams, and it never got to, I mean, not even come close to the College World Series. And for them to do that and change the expectations of the program and you know, not just do it once, but they did it 3 stinking times. And now coaching, when I coach here for 8 years, to see how hard that is, I have so much respect for him from that side of it. Especially Shane. I mean, he was right there. I mean, he's the one that did it on the mound, and it's yeah, to be with them is pretty special.
When was the last time you came to a game?
Here in town,
Mm-hmm.
my last game that I snuck into the Omaha Husker game up in at their place last year because my kid had practice at Baxter for hockey, and I might have snuck over and sat up there and watched a little bit, but it was cold out. But here, my last game was in Northern Colorado right before COVID. I came in the right field corner and sat down on a picnic bench and watched some of the kids play, and I think the next day that was it. So I show up from time to time, but I'm pretty good at just kind of sneaking in and out.
Do you keep tabs pretty closely still, or I mean, I know you're pretty busy, but
I'm not that busy, Mike. I mean, let's call it what it is. But I do. When I'm traveling, I love listening to the guys on the radio. They're great, and yeah, I mean, I read the paper, I follow, and no, I'm not on the message boards and posting stuff or whatever. Twitter, like I don't do that stuff, but yeah, I follow it, and you know, we had it on when they beat Vandy and we're high-fiving in the house. It's cool stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the coaching staff. I love Will, and I mean, I think everybody knows I love the Huskers, and it's fun to follow. But yeah, am I sitting there critiquing every play and like, oh, why did you put this guy in? No, I'm not like that. It's just fun to sit back and listen. It's reminds me a lot of being around my grandpa and just listening on the radio. I honestly don't watch a lot of baseball on TV, but I still, maybe that just means I'm old, but I enjoy listening to good radio announcing during a baseball game. There's just something pure about that.
You talk about sneaking into games. It's going to be weird to, now that your jersey's going to be here in the stadium, retired, kind of cemented in history.
That's super weird, yeah. It's super cool, but at the same time, I mean, it's been a while that you don't get asked these questions anymore because you're old and nobody cares about you, which is perfect. But like when you bring it back up and you think about it, you remember it's like, holy cow, it was kind of cool, and it just doesn't feel real. Like I was down at Angels camp 2 weeks ago, and just on the field, and I'm like, I did this for 14 years, and you're like, it's like I was never good enough to do that, and you did it, right? And then I'm here and I'm out there coaching. I go talk to Dan in the Illinois dugout. I was like, geez, I've been coaching against that guy for 8 years, and you see Will, he's the head coach. I'm like, oh, yeah, I did that. It's like those things that you get to experience in life that are. They don't seem real. They seem like dreams. Well, that's why they're cool, because it's it's hard to comprehend that you get to do that. So I'm just going to take it all in and have fun. But yeah, it's pretty special to be back.
When did you find out that this was for sure happening?
Oh, sometime in the fall probably. I think Will reached out. Led talked a little bit about it. Just trying to find a date. But yeah, it was. I can't remember the exact dating. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did you have? I mean, you've talked a lot about your time as a coach and things like that. I mean, do you have a memory as a player that stands out above all others as a Nebraska player?
Oh, I'm so bad at stories. Well, since I talked about the buck a bunch today and a couple of different things I did, I do remember wearing Ziploc bags on my feet over my socks because of all the water that came off of Avery Avenue because there was no warning track. So when it rained, cars would drive by left field and splash water about 10 feet onto the field. And I'm not making this up. There's water over your ankles in the outfield, and you just play the game, and it's great. And then whoever saw the buck in right field, you hit a ball in the 4-hole, you have a chance for an inside the park home run because right field was for our football team's practice field. They put the right field fence up, and a ground ball right to the right fielder literally will hit a pothole from a giant 300-pound human being practicing and jump over the right fielder's head, and they don't get an error, and you get inside the park home run. So it was a benefit being a rollover guy on the, as a lefty, hitting it over there, and you had a chance for an extra base hit, stuff like that.